Hello and welcome to another What Sold on eBay video. This is the Postcard Edition. I want to thank everyone who tuned into last week's episode, and I had a really good time doing that. And so I haven't been selling a ton of postcards, so I might actually do these videos maybe once a month. We'll go over some of the things. I wanted to give a quick update on John from Popeye's Postcards. I did reach out to him earlier this week, and he did get back to me a couple days ago, and John is doing great. From the conversation that we had, it looks like that he's not going to be back on YouTube. And with that, that's a very sad situation. He did go over some personal things that, I definitely feel like I shouldn't, repeat to the YouTube community. But John is doing very well. He's still doing his postcards and enjoying his retirement. So we're just going to leave him at that. I will reach out to John from time to time because, like I said, he's one of the most amazing postcard resellers I've ever met in my life. Definitely a mentor to me during my postcard journey. So it's actually really sad to see him officially say that he's absolutely done with YouTube and he's not coming back. So with that, let's get into it. And we wish John lots of luck with his retirement. And first up, we have this New York Coney Island postcard. This is an embossed, which means it basically has some raised art, and you can usually feel the very top of it. This happens to be shrimps in kind of like a circular pattern here. And if you see any of these kind of things, sometimes there's lobsters that are like this. There's alligator ones that are like this, where the lobsters or the alligators go around the particular image. Those are actually worth looking into. I've sold a few of those in the past for higher than this. I think we did take a best offer for this for 12 something, and this sold really fast, almost like less than 24 hours after we put them up. And this one was posted, so it was easy to actually see a date and all that kind of stuff. Really interesting postcard. Coney Island, there's some postcards for Coney Island that do pretty well, so definitely look into Coney Island stuff, especially like the antique and vintage Coney Island different things. I know like boardwalks and some of the hotels and arcades and all that kind of stuff do very well, so definitely check out those postcards. Next up, we have this 1913. This is York, Pennsylvania, Elmwood Avenue, kind of like a street view, an very older street view. And let's see what the stamp on this one is. 1913, cancel. Pretty clear. I love when the cancels are this clear. You can see exactly where it was posted. York, Pennsylvania, January 2nd, 1913. So you can date that. I usually put the dates and all that kind of stuff in the title there. As we can see, this is an older one. Some of these ones that have the red writing on the corners, as you can see here, those are usually older postcards, and I forget actually what they're called. If they're called undivided, no, this one has a division. But anyways, those particular postcards, they're called something, and for whatever reason, actually those sell pretty well. The ones that have the red writing on the corners. And those are usually, older ones for in a certain time period. I think this is actually a newer one, even though 1913 doesn't really sound like a newer one. I've seen these in 1908, 1906, 1903, stuff like that. So definitely look out for these. I would say these are like the original printed postcards. Right? They were printing real photo postcards at the time. But I want to say these were some of the very first colorized printed ones that were that look like this. This sold for $9.99 with free shipping, and definitely look out for these kind of older postcards. Next up, we have this California Knott's Berry Farm train ghost town. As we can see here, this sold for $12.99. Knott's Berry Farm is a subject. It's, for those who don't know, it's basically like an amusement park. Kind of like Disneyland. It's actually like a half an hour away from Disneyland. Well, actually really closer than that. It's maybe 15 minutes away from Disneyland, if not closer. And it's kind of, I don't want to say Knott's Berry Farm has been around for a while, even as long as Disneyland has. But anyways, there's some certain types of scenes that do very well for Knott's Berry Farm. They don't sell really super fast, but some of the Western and the Ghost Town and the Haunted ones definitely do very well. Especially this one's got a lot going for it. Not only that's Knott's Berry Farm, Ghost Town, which is a subject that people collect in itself, but it also has a train, and trains do very well with things. And like I said, this sold for $12.99. Probably paid like, between 10 and 25 cents for this. Next up is this Army Tank Beach Landing Armored Mechanized. Roy Rowe has all the different kind of things, as we can see here. I guess I probably should have put what kind of tank it is. I guess it didn't show what kind of tank it was. And I definitely didn't know what type of tank it was either. So, I don't know. I guess it kind of looks like a Sherman tank. But anyways, if I didn't know, I wasn't going to put it in the title. That's for sure. But, beach landing, Army tank, all that kind of stuff. And basically that's what sold this was the tank. I would say like tanks for the most part aren't like a crazy subject that people are just snapping up, but it's a subject to definitely take another look, especially if you can find real photo postcards of tanks. Those seem to do very well, like World War II. I guess there's some World War I real photo postcard tanks. I haven't seen them, but I'm pretty sure they're out there, and I'm pretty sure if I did research on those, I'd find those. But this sold for $8.99. Like I said, paid anywhere between 10 to 25 cents for this. Really good profit. And like I said, this thing had even like a ding corner. We talked about postcard conditions in the past. Like sometimes condition doesn't even matter with postcards. And that's, I think, one of the things I really, really, really like about postcards. Unlike baseball cards, where if there's a huge ding in the corner or crease or whatever, it dramatically drops the price. With postcards, people will buy postcards no matter, what the condition. It's all about the subject for these. Next up, we have another Route 66. This is a Harley-Davidson, so there's lots of things going on here as far as subject matter. This is a printed card, as you can see here from the back. Kind of a newer one, I would say, probably from the late 90s to early 2000s. The couple things that it's really got going for it, of course, is the Route 66 sign. We talked about Route 66 postcards in the past, and also it's got a Harley-Davidson motorcycle imagery kind of illustration. So two subjects that collectors collect. Well, three, the Route 66, the Harley-Davidson motorcycle, and the motorcycle itself. Three different things that people definitely collect. We sold this for $5.99. Like I said, I paid probably about 10 cents for this one. And I got this with a grouping of other Route 66 postcards. Next up, we have this postcard from California. This is the Guy Motel. Sunset Boulevard, which is a very famous street here in Southern California. Guy Motel. Hotels and motels do very well, especially in California. If you could find those, definitely, put those up. They range in different prices. I can't really tell you really prices. What was really cool about this particular one is I had maybe like 20 of these. And I've been just kind of listing them as they've been selling, and these have been selling. It was like one person. As you can see here, Mrs. Lois Croft LaRoe. It was like a husband, and I did read these, and I found them actually very fascinating. That's another aspect of postcards I find, especially when you can read them. There's so many times where the handwriting's so crazy where you can't even read them. But it was basically like, to me, it reminded me like of a husband that was basically out for business for maybe a couple weeks, a couple months. And someone had all these postcards from the same hotel and motel, and it was very fascinating because I bought a collection of this particular. I think it was LaRoe was actually the person that owned these. It must have been like a daughter or a granddaughter of this actual person, and it was like stacks and stacks and stacks of hotel motel postcards. And so, like I said, it was very interesting to kind of read through some of these. I mean, look at it. It says like sitting around, feeling kind of lonely. So I thought I'd drop you another card. This guy sent like, I swear I was reading the cards. It was like a card a day in this particular time frame. I don't know if this gentleman was, Ray was basically, like I said, to me, it seemed like he was on work kind of duty, doing some sales or something like that. And it was pretty funny to have like a huge collection of these postcards from this particular person. But anyways, definitely look up Hotel Motel. California does very well. There's a couple collectors that just consistently buy these off of me. Next up, speaking of California, we got Topanga Road. It's a very famous road. It does not look like this anymore. There's like lots of, I mean, Topanga Canyon still has a lot of forest kind of trees and things, but there's lots of houses and development. Especially this little corner, this little kind of valley is just filled with houses right here now. When you kind of go down this kind of street, that would actually be kind of cool to do a video of where I take some of these old postcards in California and go to the actual locations to kind of show you like how things have changed over the years. If you kind of would enjoy a video like that, let me know. I don't know. That's a lot of work for myself, but maybe if someone would want to see that. But anyways, there's like a bunch of houses in this ravine now, all the way up there. Anyways, this is a printed one. It's a newer one. As you can see, the scanner kind of light in the back here, but this is actually pretty dark. And I actually owned this is actually a copy from a Real Photo postcard, and I actually owned a couple of these Topanga Road Real Photo postcards, and I sold them maybe like a couple months ago to a month ago, and they sold for like $20 something. And so some of them actually sold for a lot higher than that, but like I said, this is a copy of a copy, and it's still sold for $6.99. Like I said, it's basically all about this is the really thing that only sold this was Topanga Road in California. It's just like a very famous kind of road, and it does not look like this anymore, and that's probably another thing too. Next up, we have this postcard, Black Americana. This is a repo, meaning it's a reprint of an older linen postcard. As you can see there, it says, "This show is hard work." Those are cotton bales or bushels. A lot of my, I will say this, a lot of my Black Americana postcards were actually removed from eBay last month. And I don't know if it was just, there's a lot of racial division going on right now in our country. And I don't know if it was reported by other sellers, reported by other buyers. But there was some kind of like, they weren't even really racial as far as like racism and things like that. But, I guess they could have been depicted in that way. So just be warned if you're ever selling any Black Americana. That's like basically the keyword for this type of postcard. Just be warned that, sometimes they get taken off. This one happened to sell, I want to say before all that happened, where there was a good amount of some older ones that I had that got removed. And so this one went through. This was $5.99 plus free shipping. Like I said, I probably paid, about 10 cents for this. Next up, we have this postcard. This is a B-36J U.S. Air Force jet engine. This is a J-47, as you can see here. And a lot of the information's on the back, which is nice. As you can see here, it has all the information. Airplanes do very well. Aviation is like a subject all in itself that people collect. Older jets and older kind of continental postcards. This is like a postcard that was probably produced in the late 70s, maybe the early 80s. Is there a date on this one, actually? Because this looks like a 70s postcard. No, but, just the look of everything, just the look of the photograph, definitely from the 70s. This sold for $5.99. There's been plenty of aircraft postcards that I've sold for, $15, $12, $11. So just kind of you're going to have to do some research and look them up individually with that. Once again, I'm Chris, Thrift Shop Hustler. If you did enjoy this video, go down there and click the like button. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about everything. If I should continue to do these postcard videos. If not, we'll see what the views look like in your comments below. And like I said, I really appreciate everyone who's tuned in, and we'll see you next time. Take care.